Ah, the live streaming.
Yeah.
Are you going to be warm enough? It's very cold.
Yeah?
Sure.
If not, I can make some hot chocolate.
Don't get cold. Get a hot water bottle.
That's a bit of a, what's it called? Not a sudden end, sort of like it's a bit of an anticlimactic end, isn't it? To the countdown. Yeah, probably fine. Anyway. Welcome to stream. It's great to have you. I think we're just gonna hang out a bit on the, oh wait, I can get rid of the starting soon. There. I think we can just hang out about a bit on this, on the screen until maybe until people start popping up. But I've had a nice week, I think. I was playing D&D today with my friends. So that's always a bonus. So yeah, it's actually really fun. We're getting near to the climax. Oh, thank you, Centon, for the follow. 1 second. Thank you for the follow. It's good to have you in chat. So you're new here, right? So what we're doing here is building a world based on a premise. 1 second. Based on a premise originally put forward by a YouTube channel called the Template Institute. So that tells you a bit about the world we've been building. It's like, as it says, it's a post-apocalyptic setting, and it's sort of like, kind of like Mad Max. It's like sort of semi-magical kind of, like science fantasy kind of thing. So I think we just jump in. If you have any questions, let me know, and we can. If you have any questions, just like ask them, and I'll try and get back to them. Or, well, no, I will get back to them, but for now, what are we thinking of doing? We could get a bit of work done on the East Coast until some people start popping in. That's what we've been working on most of the, like, for recently. Like the East Coast is kind of like where most of this stuff is happening at the current moment in the timeline here. And I'll just show you a map so you can see around about where we're working at. So this is the map of Taangali, and here is the East Coast. So this is where most of the stuff we're doing is. And I We did some work on glass wall, and and we've got suggestions here from through the week. People giving ideas. So community. I think we should have done that. I think we can click that as resolved. And then adding to it the expansionist nature of Taangali. Could also be a slave estate running itself into ruin via its avarice and refusal to change. Not exactly sure how we could go about that. That's not some. I don't think that's something I'm going to. Yeah, that's something I'm going to need a bit of help with, I think. But what? I'll have a look at glass wall first. So some notes at the start. I could probably formalize these a bit more. Ideologically opposed to Taangali, former city-state of the Kathagi Empire, gladiator city full of slaves forced to battle each other every day. Alright, let's just say it is a former city of the Kathagi Empire prior to a slave revolt. As in the modern day, it is now. Oh wait, I forgot music. Forgot to turn the music on. That's not good. All right. What was it? We had the. Oh wait, no, it's reset, hasn't it? Let's go with some new beats then. Let's try acoustic cinematic. I can barely hear that, but I'm not sure if it's just on my side. Turn it up for a bit. If someone comes in and tells me music's too loud, I can turn it down. If it's too quiet, I can turn it up. But in the modern day, it is now a direct enemy of Taangali and the Kathagi Empire. Direct enemy of the Kathagi Empire and subsequently many of its successors date. So yeah, that looks good. That doesn't need an apostrophe. Add to personal dictionary. Hey Lightbolt, how are you doing today? I was just doing some work, doing some little, not much really, just clearing up some of the descriptions here. What are we working on today? Well, I think, let me look back. So Don wanted a quick overview of the East Coast, and then L1 wanted to work on the battle and the Kathagi, specifically the gladiator aspect of the Kathagi Empire. So, but neither of them are here, so I'm not sure if we should wait until to see if they do come, or so I'm not sure if we should wait or not. What do you think of the music? Like right now? Too loud, too quiet? Hideous? Or yeah, what do you think of it? It's good? That's good. I'm glad. I did it completely by guessing, really. So I'm glad it's not too bad. Oh yeah, so I had this idea that potentially the Five Cities War could be a direct result of Glass Wall's civil war and subsequent independence. Because the Kazagi Empire isn't likely to take that lying down, are they? Oh yeah. If we streaming. Should I use at everyone? You just send, you're about to ping 70 people. So probably should, but I don't know, that warning that came up just made me second guess. One second. Okay, so yeah. Okay, send out a ping in case anyone missed the announcement. Do a waster and a survivor? Oh, at waster and at survivor. Okay. Waster at survivor. Oh. Waster at survivor. I hope I did that in time before 70 people check their notifications. Those are the important people who have said their interest. Yeah, you're right there. I didn't think about those really. So I think until maybe a couple more people join us, what do you want to do? We've got a bit on Glass Wall at the moment, and then we haven't got as much on Taangali, have we? Maximilius plan to. Do we know all the cities in the Five Cities War? We do not. I've sort of put Glass Wall and Taangali in as placeholders because they're the only cities we've named at the moment. We could swap them out, but yeah, we don't know. We know that the Thundershocks and Marvin's Blood Machine are involved, obviously, but a minute. This is about as much as we have. maybe we should find 3 more cities. That is a good idea. There were no more mentions in the video, I know that. So the rest, we're gonna be making up. In fact, so the 5 cities. Are we happy with Taangali and Glasswall? Taangali. Those are having with those 2 being in it. Pardon me. Yeah, they work. Okay. Now we could just make up names for 3 more cities, like make 3 entirely new cities. I think I mentioned it somewhere in Marvin's Blood Machine. Yeah, so I mentioned it here. It doesn't have to be canon, but in like this is yes, another placeholder really, but I had it here that 3 cities align themselves with Marvin's Blood Machine. It would be good to connect to some pre-existing stuff. Yeah, I think it would be, but it would also be nice to create some new cities, because then we could be like, oh, like, what are these cities? Why do they exist? It could help add a bit more like development. It could help us guide to some what's it called? Some more stuff. I just wish I could like look through all the what's it called? All the factions that people have made and see which ones have cities nearby. But so maybe a couple of pre-existing cities, and maybe we've got 3 left, so maybe a couple of pre-existing cities and 1 brand new one. I think could work. Just as long as we don't include Dema. Yeah. The thing is, I really like the idea, like the concept of an elite group of soldiers, but yeah, you know the problems with it. But yeah, I really like the concept of a group of elite warriors. A small group, though, would be the big thing. I feel like this music is starting to get repetitive now. Yeah, besides, like, the Demos core was like on the other side of the continent, wasn't it? I mean, I'm just changing the music. It's probably going to come in too loud. So I'll fix it quickly. Okay, how's that? Yes. 2 existing cities. Okay, I like this. I like this music. Nice bop to it. It's good. Volume all good. I'm just looking through some of the factions in the Discord, see if there are any nearby that we could borrow some cities from. But yeah. 1 second. Okay, there's one that could work, which is the kingly state of Tunisia. Not many of them have exact. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, that's something we need to do soon. Yeah, we do. But there's Tunisia, which, if you can see my mouse, it's about here on the map. Kingly state might work. Yeah, they've got there's only one named city at the moment, which is the capital city, Zodhabu. So we could go with that. Passage wall. There. In order to like figure out how it would fit in there, we need to either have Don with us, because I think it was him. Yeah, it was Don who made it. Either have them with us, or as long as we have a name. Yeah, we can figure out the other stuff later. We want to figure out like exactly how they fit into the whole thing. I get it back up so I can get the spelling right for that city. Zodhabu. According to this, it's inspired by the Swahili and what's it called? Something like the Swahili and the that culture of Africa. I don't know how to pronounce it. Alongside Polish and Ukrainian culture. Don't seem like two cultures that would go together, but sure. So we've got Taangali on one side, Taangali, Glasswell, Zodhabu. What about? We could have Motown. It's probably the reason I bring up the Brotherhood so much. I try to make feel. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, that makes sense. We've just gotten some nice beats to it, I think. I'm enjoying it. But anyway, so yeah, we could. Do you think the Brotherhood would want to stay impartial or neutral in this particular conflict? Because it's Marvin's Blood Machine on one side. They're like Splinter Group, aren't they? Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I agree, but I don't know, I just sometimes feel uncomfortable, like sometimes I feel like I'm stealing their idea, or what's it called? Like shoehorning it in. That's not the right word, but anyway. So yeah, they probably try and break up the fight, but stay neutral, right? Try to be a forceful mediator. Yeah, I think I get the idea. Like, so to be like, all right, stop fighting, otherwise we'll make you, kind of thing. Right? Or is it something else? That's it, yeah. So they wouldn't favour either side. They'd be somewhere in the middle trying to get them to stop fighting. So I'm not sure if we would include them in this or not. I kind of want to include one more Taangali city. I'm not sure what side the Zodhabu would be on, or like the city that city would be on. Because if, what do you think about having it? Hello, Noakol. How you doing? How's life? Hopefully good, hopefully good. Right now we're just talking about the 5 cities war. And then, all good, ready to work on Taangali. I'm glad to hear. So I kind of want to like create, they could have attacked Motor City. They could have, I'm just not entirely sure like why they would. So it depends on the like, what the war is about. I had the idea of it being a direct result and like immediately after the Declaration of Independence in Glass War and like the slave revolt there. So it could be something like that. But like, if you have a better idea, I'm all open to them. We've got 3 so far. If we did include Motor City. Oh no, do you have any ideas? Right now we're trying to figure out 5 cities to put into the 5 cities war. We'd probably be trying to cause general instability of the region. The Brotherhood is in direct opposition to that. I mean, no one really. I say no one. I can imagine Marvin's Blood Machine do it. Zodhabu is the capital of what is known as the kingly state of Tunisia, which was developed by Don Show on the Discord. Hello, Deemham. He's back. Are you? You are Don, right? Because that name is easier to pronounce. Yeah, that's how are you? Glad to see you. We're working on, yeah. So while we were waiting for you, we were working on the 5 cities war. And you did ask for like an overview of this region, so I can give it that to you, but I was just trying to figure out the 5 cities involved. We put Zodhabu I thought we could include Zodhabu from your kingly state of Tunisia. If you remember making that. Back in, when was it? November. So we heard about maybe including that. Nah, it's fine. No such thing as late to a stream. A city owned by no particular faction, like a city where those who look for freedom and flee their previous faction, like a safe haven that only cares about it. Well, that's sort of what Glasswall is. So Glasswall was a former city in the Taangali Empire, and it was like a gladiator city. kind of like, what's it called? Qatar in Marvel, like where Thor went. Yeah, and they fought for their independence, so they're a bunch of freed slaves, basically. So I think what you described could fit Glasswall quite well. So, what, like, I'm thinking we could make up, like, some new cities to involve in this, that we could then build out as we go. I wanted a couple of cities from the Carthage Empire. So we've got Taangali, which is still a part. We have to include Tunisia. Yeah, but like, this is called the 5 cities war, so. But yeah. I think cities, even within larger factions, are still, unless, ... well, unless, like, the Carthage cities after their fall. I'm sorry, no, what was that about? That the Carthage cities after their fall and that was accidentally send Lamau. Okay, fair enough. Did you click enter too early? Okay, so we've got Taangali, Glasswall, potentially Zodhabu. I think one new city, we can call it, I was going to say Jeff. We can't call the city Jeff. Unless, no, that's a joke. What could we call it? Taangali, Glasswall. I did not mean to click that. Good. I'm just typing random letters on Jatev. Jatev, is that keyboard spam or is that an attempt to get Jeff as a city name? Or is it like a different suggestion unrelated to Jeff? Because my best idea for a new city name was, yo, good, yeah, welcome back, Perseus. Good to see you. Twisting of Jeff. Let's try. Jeff. Jeff? Jeff? What do you think about Jeev? The H at the end. That looks like a city name. Jatev. Oh, that works. Yeah. I think I'm happy with what we've got. So, Taangali, Jev, Glasswall, Zodhabu, one more city. Something old, something new, whatever you want. Yes, you count 4 cities, we need one more. And then once we've got this last city, Don was asking for a summary kind of thing. So once we've done this, we can move on. Now I think Lightbot was talking earlier about about the Brotherhood acting as mediators? A Maximilian city? Yeah, potentially, but like Maximilian is more of like an idea. The city of the Star God. It's one I made that worships a satellite they accidentally made contact with. We could. No, I call Max. The way I've been picturing it, I might be wrong. Correct me if I am, but I was like picturing Maximilianists as an idea or movement more so than a faction. Maximilians don't have a city; they have temples in the city. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What about Asquil? Yeah, they are a movement. Yeah. So Asquil, for your idea for the city of the star. Where did you get that name? What is Asquil? Asquil. 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 Where did you get that name from? And is that for Perseus City, or is it just an idea for a name? Don't know where it came from. That's good enough for me. What do we think? Asquil. Playing around with some words. That's the best way to do it, I think. I was literally spamming letters on a keyboard to try and come up with a name. So, what do the rest of you think? Are we going with Asquil? Asquil? I don't know how to... Asquil? Asquil? Yeah. So, I think now is a good time for a summary before we get deep into the lore of the Five Cities War. So what we've got so far, prior, like in the past, Asquil, with an accent. What accent? Because that could mean a lot of things. But anyway, so in the past, the dominant force. I've just got stars there. Oh, yeah. So there's probably a reason for that. But 1 minute, let me just spell out the pronunciation. So, can you see that? I can make it bigger if you want. Right, can you see that, Perseus? That is what, yeah. You're welcome. That's the pronunciation of Asquil. So anyway, in the past, the key dominant power of the region was the Kathagi Empire. They controlled most of the cities, and the cities they didn't control were at least under their influence. The other dominant power of the region is the Brotherhood of Muscle. Kind of like less of a singular convoy and more like a collection of convoys and even a couple of city-states, including Motor City. Bonus points if you get the reference. The Maximilianists are, I think, an offshoot of the Brotherhood of Muscle. W faction. W faction? So the Maximilians are an ideal, like a movement. They are anarchists, but not monsters. Like I'm assuming they sort of believe in the beauty of anarchy. Like, but anyway, so there have been a number of crusades in the past. We're not exactly sure on what number, because it's heavily debated. So no one really agrees with how many there have been, arguing anywhere from hundreds to none, depending on your definition of crusade. And then there are the Thunder Sharks, which for a long time were a prime convoy that acted within the East Coast. They were a militant rival to the Brotherhood and presumably enemies to the Carthage Empire and their allies. And then there was Marvin's Blood Machine, which is a convoy of murderers and psychopaths, and they were another big, like, prime convoy in the region. Obviously, with this many powerful factions, eventually something's gonna give. Some tension's gonna lead to conflict, large conflict. And the spark, I think it would be cool if it was this way, but it could be unrelated. But Glass Wall, a gladiator city, it was full of slaves forced to battle each day. And then a slave known only as the escapist managed to escape. I bet you can't figure out how they got the name. And they sought refuge in a Maximilianist temple. They convinced the Maximilianists to help them take Glass Wall and free the slaves. Pardon me. And so they convinced them to help, and the movement to basically show their power over the Carthage Empire by taking the city. They quickly gained traction, and soon people were calling for a crusade, nicknamed the Glass Wall Crusade. The plan was to work with the slaves. So the slaves would revolt, and the Maximilianists would invade from the outside, with the idea that the revolt would weaken the Glass Wall defenses, allowing the Maximilians to get in. It was very difficult, not least made more difficult by the fact that both sides planned to betray each other. The Maximilianists planned to betray the slaves, taking the city for their own, and had very little. They really didn't care what happened to the slaves during the revolt. They fully expected them to get slaughtered within the first 5 minutes. And the slaves, these are gladiator slaves. They know how to fight. So they wanted to take Glass Wall for themselves and planned to turn on the Crusaders as soon as the city was theirs. And we've not talked exactly about the details of this revolt, but presumably it was a success, leading to the independence of Glass Wall. And then the final city is Taangali. There's not too much we've discussed about this, other than it is a Carthage city, a very powerful Carthage city. And then the Five Cities War happened between the 5 cities we've just decided on. And then the prime convoys, the Thunder Sharks and Marvin's Blood Machine. During the war, not decided who won yet, but Marvin's Blood Machine had massive victories against the Thunder Sharks, and I believe this is probably the reason why they haven't been able to enter the region for generations, either because they're recovering or like too scared for whatever. Probably because they're recovering, and so the Thunder Sharks fleed from this region to these lakes. I think we decided on. So they're sort of working around these lakes as far east as they can get without being within the territory of their enemies, the Brotherhood of Muscle mainly, and the Taangali Empire. However, Marvin's Blood Machine was betrayed during the High Point Massacre. After the Five Cities War, their allies, who had tolerated their actions for the sake of victory, turned on them now it was over. They fled to High Point, a glade at the top of a mountain, hoping that the mountainous terrain would protect them. But with the help of the Brotherhood of Muscle, utilizing mechs for the first time, and also taking advantage of an airship and dropping down from above, they were caught completely off guard and forced to order a retreat. As well as resulting in the deaths of thousands, the entire leadership were slaughtered in the fallout after a coup. Because retreating is not something Marvin's Blood Machine does. They fled north in disgrace and suffered decades of civil wars, unstable leadership, and several disastrous attempts at bringing back some honor to the Blood Machine. For a long time, they rode off of the fame and glories of their past and rode off of their reputation. But eventually that ran out and they became a bit of a joke, really. Blood Machine. I like this little bit of lore. Blood Machine became a nickname for someone who overplayed and overstated their physical ability, often being faced with embarrassment as soon as any fight actually broke out. So you could say to someone like, "Oh, you're a blood machine." And then a few years before the collapse of the Taangali Empire, Taangali founded an outpost in the High North, which was previously seen as prime territory of the Blood Machine, and you couldn't really set up any serious territory there otherwise, without their permission. But this was sort of like a move by Taangali to prove that the Blood Machine, or what's left of it, is not what it used to be, and that they're nothing to fear. So, a man named Tim. All sounds good. Thank you. I'm happy with what we've got, actually. I am quite happy with it. I think you'll figure out that my naming conventions are unimaginative at best. A man named Tim decided to lead an assault against the Taangali outpost. There was no fully united effort, because despite the fact that if they didn't fight back, it would sort of be proving that they aren't a threat anymore. A lot of them just genuinely didn't think they could fight back, because this was a very well defended outpost. And it would likely be the biggest battle faced that the convoy faced since the Five Cities War. But if they didn't do something, it would evaporate. So Tim took a small army of supporters to Taangali, under the idea that it was better to die in glory than live in disgrace. They are outnumbered, outgunned, under-equipped, and hopelessly outmatched. And against all odds, Tim led his people to victory. And
Hello, brother.
so,
Hello.
and after that, the reputation was restored, and Tim began the march south. He took over the blood machine, got it. It was finally able to reunite under one banner and not several separate factions. And they began their march south. And then in recent years, this is a bit that we haven't really done yet, but it was discussed in the video. The last of the Kathagi pretenders is dead, slain by a road warrior. And this has led to the complete collapse of the Kathagi Empire into gladiator kings and feudal states. Kind of like a post-Soviet power grab. A minute. Yeah. Post-Soviet power grab, when to former military warlords attempting to take up what little power remains in the region. And Taangali is, I think, one of the most powerful successor states of the Kathagi Empire. And it's sort of like a race between Taangali and Glasswall to be the next regional power. I was going to say superpower, but I don't think that could fit in this context. Anyway, I think that's everything. I think that's all we got. What do you think? I hope I didn't bore you away with a boring explanation. So now that you know what we've done, good resume. Resume or resume? I'm going to assume resume because I don't know how good resume would make sense, but could be wrong. When the last Kathagi pretender was killed and the Empire fell, there could have been some final transmission like, the pretender has fallen, Kathagi is no more, good luck, or something like that. With the Brotherhood of Muscle to its west, it would be very hard for either city to become more than a regional power. No, I think, yeah, but also considering the state of the world, it's like post-apocalyptic. So pretty much as close as you're going to get is a regional power. Like the Kathagi Empire, with all its time and money and resources, was never really able to capture more than just the East Coast. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the Thunder Sharks are starting to make a move into the East Coast, as well as Marvin's Blood Machine. And then there's the Brotherhood is still there. What's left is the Kathagi Empire. The 7th Motor Insurrection, another crusade, another 7th Motor Insurrection from the Brotherhood, another crusade from the Maximilianists, the whole thing. So, 1 minute. So what do you want to work on? What's the new crusade about? Well, I presume it's like some kind of, I think it's like going to be like similar in aim to the Glass War Crusade, except bigger. Oh wait, I've completely forgot. I feel like we need to expand one of the other continents. They feel small in comparison to another one. You mean physically or like lore-wise? Because it's not out of the question for a large continent to appear, is it? Like, supercontinents have expanded its land, at least. Yeah, but like, supercontinents have existed on Earth before, where physically, yeah. Yeah, but like, there's been times when pretty much all of the Earth's landmass has been in one place. I don't think it's like out of the question for something to be like shaped like this, with one big continent and two smaller ones. I mean, we could do it. I do want to use Incarnate to try and make a new map. So while we're at it, we could try and grow it. But the reason I want to make a new, don't feel like continent's physical sizes are as important. We didn't even name the continent yet. The center and the northwest. Center and northwest feel empty. Eastern island chain or something. Northern region, yeah. I mean, in my opinion, I think the map looks fine because we've got the Pacific Ocean on Earth, which takes up like half the planet. Like, you can just look at the Pacific Ocean and not see any continents. There are a few islands, yeah. No, because right, yeah, we haven't named them. Which is probably something we'd want to do. At some point, I think. We could do it now. Like, we could suggest some names and throw them in cartography. I started with Gred about the meetings. We can make the Taangali coast. I feel like they'd be arrogant enough to make it happen, to name it after themselves. I think you're right, Taangali coast. Naming the East Coast region should be fine. Stop, 1 minute. I like that. The Taangali, you're like, what, like, well, the Taangali coast, you mean? Because I do like the Taangali coast. So how big is the Taangali coast? Is it like all the way up here? Or is it just like just a region? I think it is a cool name, and you are right. The GredtheAceAllay Empire probably would be arrogant enough to name it after themselves. And I think if we were to split them into continents, well, I think if we look at these mountains, I think we can split one continent here. This mountain splits it in two. Another continent here. Maybe one here, including a lot of these little islands. Maybe one or, I think the island to the east. From that island in the east to the 3 lakes. That's huge. Roughly half. Like, I was thinking coast to cover like, as far as the GredtheAceAllay Empire went, maybe further, if the influence extended into neighbouring areas. Can we call the west continent of the mountains Dasakent? Any particular reason behind this name, or just, I mean, we could, yeah. Just like, do you have, Dasakent is a good name. You have a sea empire, not a land. Is there a mountain range map? Yes, there is. I can try and get it up, but there might be a short moment of awkward waiting as I try and get it. So 1 minute. I have to open up Discord and get a picture of the map. It'd be kind of funny if the main landmass was called Taangali, as well as the planet, because the people who named it didn't realize there was anything beyond it. You know what? That's not a terrible idea. But found it. Okay, good. Cool. Let me just have a look at that. Yeah, Intelligent Lakes might be a little too far. Yeah, like to call it a coast. You could call it the well, let me just have a look at the mountain range map again. Where's the map? Well, so maybe the GredtheAceAllay coast. Like if you look at the how far up and down do you think it's? How far north and west do you think it should go? So that we in terms of east, like how far inland it goes, we can figure that out. But kind of like how much of the Caribbean was named after India, after the fact that European colonizers mistook them for India. Yeah, from. So are you thinking like this entire, no more than 100 miles into the continent? Good idea, except for the fact that I don't have a scale, so I have no idea how far 100 miles is. Shouldn't go further than the pinks on the map. I agree with that. I think that's so the GredtheAceAllay coast. 1 second, let me just try something. Do you have a map of the GredtheAceAllay Empire? We do not, I don't think. Or rough outline? No, I don't think so. Just gonna try something real quick. Okay, I'm just gonna try something. Just gonna click stop screen. I'm gonna see if I can share a screen of a map. Okay, so it's not too bad, I think. Let me just try and okay, and That did not work. Okay, I think that's probably good enough. This you have got as a map so far. Okay. So I'm going to draw a little black line of roughly where the Taangali coast might be. And you can tell me what you think of it. Okay. Probably roughly about there? What do you think? For the Taangali coast. Okay, was that the entire thing? Good to know. Minute. Ping zone is called desert boundary, so it's a good limit. Okay, so like for their physical territory. Okay. So Lightbolt has sent an idea for what's it called? For the physical territory of the of the Taangali Empire. I'm gonna bring it up and see what you think of it. Okay, I haven't given you a very good. I haven't left you with a very good view there, have I? Yeah, at least you can look at the map now. Where's Tunisia on the map? Okay, I'll point it out for you. I think it's about 1 second. I think it's about here. On the map. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay, so here's I think it makes for Tunisia to be a vassal of the Taangali during this time period. So that depends how long. What does, in this context, what does vassal mean? Because, well, I think I know what vassal means. No, that. 1 second, I'm just gonna. Vassal in the tributary thing. I'm not sure what vassal means in like this context really. Okay, let me just show you what I was meaning to show you before. So this is what what's it called? Lightbolt thinks for the territory of the part of an empire by domination or conquest and have to pay tribute to avoid conflict. Of a state of sorts, a state under the control of the Taangali Empire, but not necessarily a part of it. Yeah, we could have that if you wanted. So this was the region suggested by Lightbolt for the physical territory of the, what's it called? For the physical territory for the Taangali Empire. Along with a few hours outside of that zone, yeah. Personally, like for me, I think I don't know, it looked a bit too small for like regional power. I was thinking potentially a bit more of the coast. But let's say like this is the region. There's sphere of influence, there's their sphere of influence. Is that their sphere of influence or their sphere of influence? Yeah. So I think like maybe we can stick with that, but maybe a few like colonies, I guess, or like areas of direct territory along the coast or something like that. Maybe something like that. They were the previous owners of the plant, so I think vast control is more fitting to them. Yeah, they were the previous owners, but it could be that they've lost a lot of power. But I did think they should have a bit more of the coast. What do you think about like this as a general guide for maybe more smaller colonies rather than 3 big ones? But yeah, it's something. Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna stop screen again. Lightbox come in with another idea. Okay, so give me a quick second. They definitely fell off, but I think having influence on the coast until Tunisia looks good. Oh, come on a minute, let me just show you this. This is messy at best. My way of doing this, but I mean it works. But it does take a while. You can see that good. So this is a different idea. So I like a little bit more, actually. Looks good to you? Yeah, like they have some control over these. So pretty much this entire ocean belongs to them, I think. So what if we called, let's go back to a clean map. So what if we called like this, you wish it more like deepen this into a continent? I think it looks good, like, I think that idea looks what, as to the Sea Empire and stuff, yeah, I think the Karthago Empire is like a naval territory, but I mean, I just had an idea, potentially. So what if this like region sort of outlined by these islands, what if that, we can call it the Karthago Sea?
You'll plug my headphones. I'll shoot.
Or like the, yeah, we could call it the Karthago Sea. If the world is round, might they have maybe one colony on the other side of the continent? Maybe when they thought they were just starting to extend further, but never got further. And the first colony is now completely abandoned.
Ash, if you plug my headphones.
Karthago Gulf. Is it a gulf? What is a gulf? A minute, good old Google will help answer that question. I think something really interesting is how Google has just become synonymous with the internet or searching browsers. Because like, sometimes you're not using Google, you might use Internet Explorer or Safari. But you say, I'll Google it. A gulf is an inlet of an ocean or a deep sea into land with a narrow mouth, which is more highly indented, more enclosed by the coast and larger than a bay. Some examples are, okay, so I think a gulf would be, I think like this would be a gulf. Yeah, I'll draw that in a different color. Let's splash out a bit. The patch of water goes deep into that island. So I think like something like this would be a gulf. Would this count as a gulf? I can't tell. I'll draw that with a smaller line. Do you think that counts as a gulf? Because we could call this the Karthago Gulf, this the Karthago Sea. I think we're naming are we naming too many things after Karthago? Like the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, yeah, that. Okay, and I can picture a gulf now. So what if this is the Tamizian Gulf? I think this is where Tunisia is. Alexander the Great called everything Alexandria. You're all right, he did do that. Okay, so we've got the Kasagi coast, which is like probably something like this-ish. I'm going to draw that in a different color actually. Let's go with blue. A nice lovely blue color. So let's say something like this-ish. The most imprecise line ever. This region is the Kasagi coast. This region is the Kasagi Sea. This region, you can't, can you see where I'm pointing? You can't see where I'm pointing. So like the blue region is the Kasagi coast. The black region is the Kasagi Sea. The red thin line is the Kasagi Gulf. What about the red thick line? And I'll rub it out and do it in a new color. Yeah, sorry about that. I did not realize.
Why do you have the new cheese? Fuck off. Unless that's a connect for you.
So what do you think? So can you see the green region, or is it too small? Let's try with a slightly thicker line. So what if the green, perhaps the Kasagi Gulf is where the Kasagi Empire started in the capital. Tunisian Inlet. Inlet could work. I think inlet sounds good. We should just name this the naming stuff stream. If I knew how to change the stream's name halfway through. I can! Taangali naming stuff stream. Inlet sounds great. Okay. So we've got the Kasagi coast, the Kasagi Sea, the Kasagi coast in blue, the Kasagi Sea in black, the Kasagi Gulf in red, and the Tunisian Inlet in green. I'll click done for now. I'll send a copy to cartography. With a key. Just give me a quick moment. Talk among yourselves. Tunisia is named after the chemist. Interesting little bit of interesting tidbit there. Interesting bit of information. Okay. Quick, let's start a revolution while I can still see your messages. Don't go all glass wall on me. Otherwise I'll go Marvin's blood machine on you. Okay, 1 minute. Blue equals Kasagi coast. Oh gosh, sorry, 1 second. black equals Kasagi C. Red equals Kasagi Go. And green, was it? Yeah. Green equals Tunisian Inlet. Okay. So I sent that off to the Discord, and I'm back. So what we were going to name the continent, and we got all bogged down naming Gulf and Inlet. Still productive, but I'm gonna. Oh wait. Tis the way of the world builder. Yes. Still productive. That's what I tell myself. Okay, I cannot rub these out anymore. So that's sort of stuck the way it is now, I guess. So, do you want to try and name the continents now? Okay, I think this... I'll try and get the map of the mountains up, actually. Because I think that could help guide the world building, or like the continent naming. Still productive, that's what I tell myself when I beat my friends at chess for the third time instead of doing my homework. Do your homework. Stay in school, kids, it makes you better at Minecraft. Stay in school, kids, it makes you better at world building. Alright, a little bit of behind the scenes, what's it called, finagling to do. Alright. For the southwest, I recommend the farmland. There isn't much advanced life, rendering it backwater. The southwest. Okay, 1 second. Is this a good map to draw continents on? It's got, Maybe when Taangali will be more fleshed out, I will make some environmental art. Ooh, art. I love art. Took inspiration from Europe High. From Europe High was in Euroland. Europe. Took inspiration from Europe High was. Europe was named after a princess who got kidnapped by Zeus to mean the land we know not much about. Now, Uncle, I would. When I tell you I would go feral for art, I am being 100% /SRS right now. So, Euroland. What does that mean? Euroland. Okay. Let's try and get a blank slate to do. To name some continents. Give me a moment. If you guys want like a change of music or song, just let me know. You can change it at the click of a button. If you're getting bored of the same old song over and over again. Like Euroland, but spelled Euroland? I thought it was like Europa became Europe. This was weird, man. But we don't need to get into that at the moment. Okay, so southwest, that's like this region, isn't it? So you're thinking this continent. I'm going to circle it in black. So your idea for this continent is something like the far lands. There isn't much there. It's kind of unimportant or not much going on. Is that what you were thinking? Something like that? Because like this still seems a bit close to the mainland, and especially when you consider that this is like right there. But this area I could definitely see as being like really insignificant. If you look at how close it is to the Kasagi Sea, if you look there, there'd just be the land. And also the continuation. Trade ports, but not much beyond that. Yeah, I think maybe there could be something similar to what happened in India, or like with India and the Caribbean, where these guys try and travel around the back of the world to get here, maybe? That is not where I'm pointing, 1 second. So maybe they travel around the back of the world to try and get here, but they slightly miscalculate and end up somewhere about here. What if something like that happened?
Alright.
Just stretching. I mean, what time is it?
Does that say on? Or off?
On.
Thank you. What time is it? 25 to 7.
Okay, so we have 25 minutes left to stream. From my understanding, that continent is kind of the pocket for a nature product land, so it is very much untamed. Yes, perseverance, very much stretch. Something's whistling. It sounds like a kettle, but the kettle isn't on. Okay, I'm going to ignore the poltergeist. Obviously taking up residence in my house. As long as it doesn't smash cupboards, I honestly don't care. Anyway, don't ignore them, make them tea. I'm not making tea for the poltergeist. They can make their own tea when I go to bed. So I think in terms of regions, as a general guide for splitting the world up, something like this. But this is about what I'm thinking. The black is what I propose to be desiccant. Oh, that's pretty much what I outlined. That's neat. Yeah, it seems practically mind readers at this point. It could be twins with weird mind powers. Perhaps those lines accidentally found could be Neo-Taangali, since they thought it was Taangali, then realized it was a new part of the Taangali world. Yeah, something like that, like the new world kind of thing going on here, which would make this Europe. That lines up. Yeah, it would make this. If this is the new world, then that makes this blue cross Europe, which totally lines up. But anyway. So what do you think about this kind of... I don't think Neo-Taangali is like the name, but that's the kind of thing we're looking at. I don't think we should apply Orwell's idea of continents and geopolitics to Taangali. Good call. Good call, really, honestly. So are you thinking like we don't have like continents, or what were you thinking? The continents should be equivalent to shouldn't be equivalent to our world's continents. Yeah. To be honest, I'm not sure what our world's continents even are. They're just confusing, really. If the Empire Cathar or something. That's totally something they would do. So Don, what were you thinking, like in terms of the continents or whatever they are in this world? So it is a good continent name. Should we do it? Maybe the blue could simply be called the New World, as it is the continent that is concerned to have the most pre-apocalypse architecture still intact. I mean, it's the most inhabited part of the world, isn't it? It's the place where the most people live. So, arguably that it would make sense if the place where the most people live has the most pre-apocalyptic architecture, because they'd want to go live where there's stuff. It's part of the world that would be having some tech leapfrogging at the very beginning, resulting in everyone generally being more advanced. That makes sense. What if, in terms of architecture, there's very little? Because people do what people do, and they blew it all up in the wars. So in terms of actual structures, most of it has been destroyed at some point. But in terms of technology, in terms of like new stuff, like source technology, stuff that hasn't been, like, I don't know, like you find it somewhere. I don't know what to say, but like, so all the architecture, the structures, and all the actual technology, there's very little, because most of it's either been destroyed or scavenged already. But you can see traces of the technology in what people use. So they use mechs, cars, hover vehicles, stuff like that. And then maybe in this region, like these two regions, there's very little in terms of technological leapfrogging. So the people that are there aren't very advanced. But in terms of the actual structures, all the technology, it's all still there because there's like nobody there to claim it. Some of its more prominent cities, prominent glades are old world cities. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So like maybe some of the Taangali cities, something like Delhi. Continents should work like ours, but the name should be sometimes linked to Taangali history for their flavor. Like Blue Zone linked to the Empire, the West continent should have a huge cultural and visual feel to it. Yeah. So the West continent is where most things happen, I think. That's what we have thought of. I think like the West continent and the blue bit and the yellow bit. Then maybe the green one in second place, or third place first. Then the red bit, and then the black bit. Is that not east? Oh yeah. I got confused, sorry. West continent, yeah, the West continent, the green bit. Yeah, should have some huge cultural or visual feel to it. The ethos of Taangali. What does ethos mean? Westeros. I have not seen Game of Thrones. And I don't really plan to, I don't think. Oh wait. We've already got a name for the green bit. Desiccant. I don't remember what desiccant meant. I zoned out and missed a bit about East and West, I think. Desiccant is a tribute to my... Okay. I think we can go with... That's actually really sweet. So I think we can call this bit desiccant. I just put a little note here so I don't forget again. The a close enough desiccant. So now we've got about 14 minutes to name the other 4 continents. So, is Bata is a desiccant faction? Sounds good. Yes. Yeah, I think. Whereabouts is Bata again? Let me check the map. Factions. I remember we were talking about naming the blue area Qatar. Is that what we want to go for? Or do we think that? Is that what we're going with? Or does someone think that they've got a better name? Yeah, we were. Old Qatar. Rolls off the tongue. It does kind of. We could keep it for now. Okay, I'll put oh. So do you think Old Qatar or just Qatar? Okay. I did not realize what I was writing until I wrote it. Sounds good, actually. I like Old Qatar. Okay, so we've got DA and OK. Now we've got red bit, black bit, and yellow bit. See this yellow bit, half of it, like this top bit, is sort of owned by the Taangali. I wonder if it's possible to get like emotes in my chat. I'm not sure if it's like I can probably do it after stream if I'm gonna do it, but I am really curious now actually. So I'm not sure. So, any ideas for more content? We don't have to like think real hard about it. We could just call it, I don't know, keyboard mash. That did not work. Region could be north name, south name. Ooh. Maybe. So what do you think about the idea of the red continent being discovered by people trying to find desiccant by going around the back of the world, but accidentally taking a wrong turn somewhere? What do you think? Is that something you think would fit? Like some people in OK were like, all right, we need to go to desiccant, but I can't be bothered going across land. Sounds good. Yeah, like maybe they're trying to find new trade routes or something. Which I just realized our little map doesn't show many trade routes going around the back of the world or over the top. Like our world map showing all the different what's it called? Land routes. But yeah, maybe they were like, oh, we need to find some new lanes, maybe safer ones. Which could potentially... what's it called? It could potentially inform the names of this continent. Like the yellow continent, mostly populated people who historically fled the empire. Okay. That. When people are fleeing the empire, they would either go to DA or down South Agunuto. Black. Is that just like another just came out of nowhere name, or is there like a story behind this one? Like maybe it means something in a different language or something, I don't know. Agunuto. I'm just going to make notes. Agu-Mutag is Mongolian for great land. I think a name invoking wilderness would fit the black one. Yeah, because like the black one is far, like people are just beginning to discover the red area, and then the black area is just even further. What if the yellow was Agu-Mutag? Like what if that we made the yellow that? I like the idea of at least one region on the continent being named after something from real life, to see the theory that somewhere out in the cosmos, Earth exists in this world. Yeah, fair enough. So I'm going to head out now. It's been a blast. It's been great having you. I do need to go soon too. Like it's nearly bedtime for me. Because stylized Agu-Mutag. What do you mean stylized? We've only got. It's been great having you here, Don, but I'm going to be leaving soon too, so you won't miss much. You're lucky. I really want to get these last three names, but if we can do it in the next 5 minutes, that would be great. But what do you mean by stylized Agu-Mutag? Like stylize the content, stylize the name, or? Like keep the sound of the name but changing how it looks. Well, I think it looks good. We can like change how it looks, but I think in terms of looks it's just good. It's just well what continent we want to attach that name to. Sorry, I went a bit quiet there, didn't I? Okay, I'll think about possible names for the black and red. We could call them no land, because people didn't think there was any land there. We didn't believe the explorers who claimed that there was. So called it no land, mocking Noland. What do you think? No, come. That could work. We could go with that, or we could go with some kind of play on with the desiccant, because they thought it was in the beginning, wouldn't they? Until they realised it's not, but they pillaged it anyway. I mean, to go back to what Lightbox said, I think they do have a few references already. Like, I have what's it called? The kudzu, which is named after kudzu from real life, but maybe this could be called Europe after Europa. Like, Europe used to be the land we don't know much about in Greek, didn't it? Beth, I think you said that before. Perhaps the area on the continent being called desiccant. Maybe an area on the continent. Yeah, like maybe a major port or something. Yeah, I think that would work. I'm gonna have to write all this down at some point. Or the explorers who try to explore Red and Black from Desiccant or Old Cathar. I think they're originally from Old Cathar, trying to take a shortcut to Desiccant and taking a wrong turn. But once they've discovered it, I think people from both continents are going to be exploring it. Desiccant maybe down there, and then Old Cathar taking the only route they know. Across the ocean. So I think we've got Noland. Could be that the Carthage Empire sent first explorers, but Desiccant sends explorers now as the Empire itself. Yeah, I think that would work. Why not comically call it New Cathar as they try to explore it, but fail miserably? We could call the red bit New Cathar. New Cathar. And we could call the black bit New Cathar. That's a joke. I don't. Nah. And we've got 1 minute. Black Zone Noland. Ooh. N. O. And now one last one, the yellow one. So what was it before? The Agunutag? Agunutag, Great Land, right? I like that really. What do you think? I think we can keep it. It's a name you can easily be a third lord. Yep. I'm just gonna write red equals New Cathar. Just like getting it all down now. Black equals Noland. Yellow. I'm gonna put the yellow further up actually. Yellow equals Agunutag. Wait 1 minute. I just need to do about these little notes. Okay, too late. Never mind. Guess I was staying on there forever. Alright, good night, Tessa. I'll be ending up soon as well. I just need to post this, what we did. I'm also gonna need to like post about everything we discussed about these continents. We've discussed a lot and we haven't, most of it's not on here, is it? But I do need to go to sleep, so I'll just post these. With the what's it called? With the key. Yeah, good work everyone. I think we did really good work today. We got a lot done. We named stuff, which is impressive to say the least. I'd say we named 5 continents. We named 4 what's it called? 5 continents, 4 places, geographical locations, 2 cities, and a partridge in a pear tree. So I'd say that's a good, good stream. I'm really happy with that. So good night. Thank you all for coming to stream. It's been great having you here. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, however much of that you have left. Bye.